Roller hockey versus ice hockey. Hockey is a game that comes in lots of varieties, and all of them are super fun. Ice hockey is the most popular version, but it is usually limited to the winter months. Roller hockey, or inline hockey, is similar to ice hockey, but you can play it all year round. There are also a few key differences between roller hockey versus ice hockey in terms of equipment, rules and playstyle. And in this video, we'll go through all of these differences. Surfaces and rinks. The most obvious difference between ice hockey and roller hockey is the skating surface. It probably won't come as a surprise to you that ice hockey is played on an ice rink. When it comes to roller hockey, there are a couple of different surfaces that may be used. In North America, a roller hockey rink is usually made of interlocking plastic tiles laid onto concrete, known as the sport court. Another major difference you will notice in roller hockey rinks is the lack of blue lines. The reason for this is that in roller hockey, there are no offsides. Besides these minor differences in ice hockey versus roller hockey surfaces, the rinks are pretty similar. The dimensions are exactly the same, as is the size. In fact, many ice hockey rinks are converted into rinks for roller hockey in the summer. Equipment for play. Skates. While the boots are pretty much the same, ice skates have blades, while roller hockey skates have rubber wheels attached to a metal chassis with metal bearings. Ice hockey skates also tend to be slightly heavier than inline skates. Pads. Both ice hockey and roller hockey players wear leg pads, elbow pads and gloves. The only difference is that you don't have to wear shoulder pads to play roller hockey. Pucks. Ice hockey and roller hockey pucks look the same to the untrained eye, but ice hockey pucks are made from solid vulcanized rubber and is flat on both sides, like these. In contrast, an inline puck is made of lightweight plastic, with raised points on one side to reduce friction. Pants, girdle. Pants for ice hockey are big and bulky, to maximize protection. They hang loosely and lack any significant contouring. In roller hockey, pants are called girdles. They are contoured and close-fitting, and feature air pockets to keep players cool. Rules. The basic rules of these two fun sports are the same, so we will stick to explaining the differences. Zones. We already mentioned that inline hockey has no offsides. In contrast, ice hockey is divided into 3 zones, namely the defensive zone, the offensive zone and the neutral zone. Icing. Icing occurs in ice hockey when an offensive player shoots from behind the red line. If it passes over the opponent's goal line, it is considered an infraction. Roller hockey does not make use of this concept, so the puck can be shot from across the court with no penalty. Penalties. Although inline hockey seems to have fewer forms of game misconduct, after receiving 3 penalties, you will be ejected from the game. In ice hockey, you are given a game misconduct, but you may continue playing. Timing. One of the more major differences in rules is that ice hockey is played in 3 periods of 20 minutes each, while roller hockey is usually played in shorter lengths. Games in the American Inline Hockey League are played in halves of 15 minutes each, while collegiate roller hockey is played in 3 periods of 12 minutes. Teams. Ice hockey games are usually played with 6 players a side, 5 skaters and a goalie. When it comes to the size of the actual teams, the maximum number of players is 20. Roller hockey teams are smaller, with the maximum number of players allowed being 16. However, most teams are comprised of around 10 to 12 players and 1 goalie. In one game, 5 play against 5, 4 skaters and a goalie. The difference between the two sports when it comes to player positions is minimal. In ice hockey, we have 1 goalie, 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. Roller hockey is just the same, except there are only 2 forwards. Instead of a center, a left winger and a right winger, there is only a center and a winger who moves around the sides. The defensemen tend to stay in the left and right positions. Which came first, hockey or ice hockey? Ice hockey came before roller hockey, but only just. The precursor to both games was field hockey, for which the first club emerged in 1861. The invention of ice hockey is credited to McGill University students in Montreal in 1875. Is rollerblading harder than ice skating? Rollerblading is not harder than ice skating. Most people find rollerblading to be easier to learn. The main reason for this is the thickness of the blades.